In this video, I'm going to show you 8 ways to use AI and ChatGPT in your life insurance business to get time back and make more money and more profit inside of your business. If we haven't met yet, my name is Tim Shooker. I co-own a company called Advanced Agent Marketing, and we help insurance agents make more money in their business and achieve time, location, and financial freedom through leads, automations, and sales training. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. I'm going to reveal to you guys the first way to use AI and ChatGPT in your business. So the first one is actually going to be responding to underwriting questions. So if you've ever written for a carrier, for example, like American Amicable, where they actually allow you to craft a response if someone gets sent to underwriting. So let's say I sign up someone and for some reason some medication pops up, which flags them for some health condition that would disqualify them for the product, but they don't actually have that health condition. I can then craft I guess it would be like a case almost that I would then submit to the insurance company to try to get this person accepted. So this is going to be the first way that we're going to use AI and ChatGPT to save you time in your business. So if you've ever done this, had to respond, a lot of times I'll just kind of like when I was writing for American Amicable, I would kind of just like half-ass the response, type a couple of sentences. When you're selling insurance, you don't really have time to write an essay, but with ChatGPT, we do. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. And actually for every single one of these examples, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it so that you don't just have like, theoretical or, tactical knowledge. You actually know how to implement the strategy for yourself. So let me show you guys here. The first thing I'm going to do is go to ChatGPT. You can use 3.5 or 4. I personally recommend using 4 because I've seen it, be a lot better. But let me show you guys an example here. So let's say I'm trying to get a client approved, but they were referred to underwriting. So if I'm writing for a carrier like American Amicable, they will allow me to submit a case. And so basically, we're going to use this example. So Miss Jones, she takes furosemide, which if you guys have sold insurance, you know what that medication is. Sometimes people will take it for a condition called congestive heart failure, which basically knocks you out of being able to be qualified with just about every single carrier other than guaranteed issue. But the thing is, sometimes people will actually take it for like fluid retention or something harmless, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this prompt right here. I basically just said this. I said, write me an email to send to the underwriting department at X insurance company to argue the case that Miss Jones is actually eligible for the final expense product she applied for. She takes furosemide for fluid retention and has never had a history of congestive heart failure. She's trying to get coverage to protect her daughter from having to pay a funeral and is very excited to be a client of X company. So I'm just going to copy this prompt, paste it into ChatGPT. And voila, within a few seconds, it's going to type me an email so that I can respond to the underwriting department and try to get Ms. Jones approved. So this is not only an extra commission for me, but Ms. Jones will actually get insurance when she does deserve it. So here it spits out. I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to advocate for my client, Ms. Jones, whose application for our final expense product has recently been under review. I'm not going to read this whole thing. You guys kind of get the picture. But basically, it's writing this entire like tactful email to underwriting that if I were to write myself, for me personally, this would have taken me an hour to write. And now it's all done and said better than I possibly could have said it. So that is way number 1, responding to underwriting. You're going to be able to get more cases pushed through that you otherwise would not have gotten paid on. So this next one is going to be customer service. If you guys have ever dealt with customer service after signing somebody up for a final expense policy or just customer service in general, it's one of my least favorite things, right? I like to go out and market. I like to sell. I like to create products. I like to do systems, all that kind of stuff. But like whenever someone is upset with something I did, like I don't like responding to those messages. It's very draining and taxing. And whenever I'd get these messages when I was selling face-to-face in the field, they would really frustrate me, right? Like someone would text me, hey, I want to cancel my policy because of whatever, right? Now you can write the perfect, tactful, well-crafted response to any angry customer or any customer service issue that you possibly could have. And here's an example of how to do it. So let's say the client says, I'm pretty ticked off right now. I just found out that Colonial Penn is offering insurance for only $9.95. And here I am paying way more with you guys. It just doesn't make sense for me to stick around and keep overpaying. So I want to cancel my policy effective immediately. Let me know what I need to do to get this done fast. So this is what the client says, and here's what I'm going to say. So let me show you guys how to do this with ChatGPT. What I will do if I ever am doing this, like for responding to a customer message, is I'll say, help me write a tactful response to this message. And I'll just copy in the quotation marks what the client says. And then I'll just say, for context, and I'll include this. Explain to them that Colonial Penn's 995 plans are only for units and is not comparable to the policy you have currently. So I'll just paste that there. And then I'll put this in quotation marks as well so that it knows. And whenever you're prompting ChatGPT, something that's super helpful is to break things up, right? So you see here I said, help me write a tactful response to this message. I put it in quotes so it knows what I want it to do this to, right? And then for context, I put it in quotes afterwards so it knows what I'm talking about, right? Now I'm just going to press enter. And it looks like it's writing me an email, which is totally fine, right? I could use this basic language, right? I hope this finds you well. And I could send this to them in a text. But let's say I want to make it shorter because my client's probably not going to read this entire thing. Let's make it a bit shorter and formatted for a text message. There we go. I understand your concern about Colonial Penns, blah, blah, blah. It's key to know that this price is for units of coverage, not a full policy like yours. To match your current coverage, you might need multiple units, potentially costing more than $995. We're here to offer you reliable, comprehensive coverage and top-notch customer service. Still, if you decide to cancel, we're ready to assist. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. And so obviously I can kind of prompt it more to get it exactly how I want. But now instead of me having to put draining mental energy into responding to a complaint, I can basically just copy and paste it into ChatGPT, save myself so much time and so much emotional taxing energy. So let's look at the next one, which is actually something that is pretty out of the box. This is something that I am quite a fan of, which is basically understanding insurance contracts better. So one thing that a lot of agents struggle with is product knowledge, right? Maybe they know how to sell. Some of them don't, but maybe you know how to sell, but you don't know anything about what you're selling. So the old way would be, okay, I'm going to need to go in and read all of the information that the insurance company has given me about their product. But luckily with AI and with ChatGPT, we do not have to do that any longer. So this one will require you to have ChatGPT 4 or like the premium version. It's $20 a month. If you're an insurance agent and you're writing business, you should be able to afford that. But basically, we're going to leverage a tool called plugins. Okay. So plugins, the way I would describe it is basically like apps, but for ChatGPT. So I'll show you here. It's still like in the beta version. So all these people will create different plugins or different apps that I can use with ChatGPT. So there's one where you can chat with video. So I can paste the video link, summarize the whole thing, and I don't actually have to watch it. Don't do that with our videos. Please give us views. Or I can also do it with a PDF, right? This one is called Link Reader. I've tried it with this one that says chat with PDF, but I recommend using Link Reader. This is the best one. So basically what I'll do is I've already installed all these plugins, so I already have them, but if you have never done this before, you'll scroll to the bottom where it says plugin store, click here, and then you can just search the plugin. So I recommend using the one that I showed you guys called Link Reader, and then you can just add it right here. So I would just click install. Obviously, I already have it installed, and I'm not going to uninstall it. But for you, you'll just click install like it shows right here. So for Link Reader, I can basically grab a PDF from the carrier or from the insurance company, whatever I'm going to use. This is just like a sample insurance contract for a whole life policy. I think this company's from Canada, so wouldn't apply to most people that are watching this, but it'll show you guys what it looks. So this is a PDF, right? Let me see how many pages it is. It's 13 pages of like all this stuff. And like you could read this, but you're not going to read this. So what we're going to do instead, if I can move my face, maybe not, is I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to paste it into ChatGPT. So now my plugin will actually open up the link for me. As you guys will see, it says using a link reader. So it's looking at the link that I just pasted. We're going to give it a second. There we go. Use link reader. The document provided as a sample contract for a participating life insurance policy. It's telling me all these key points. But the cool part is now I can ask questions. So, for example, does this policy have a waiting period? Can't even spell period right. Here we go. Does this policy have a waiting period? Does not mention a specific waiting period in the context of a delay before the policy becomes effective. So this one would not have a waiting period. It does have a grace period, but every insurance policy has that. I could also ask about, let's see. I'm trying to think of another question. What does the contract say about passing away in an accident? So there we go. It's telling me all this information about the contract without me having to go and search through it to find something. And I just thought of this as I'm recording the video, but if you had the underwriting guide for a specific product, you could literally throw it into ChatGPT and then ask if the specific health condition or medicine that the client had would allow them to be covered from that policy. So that's just an idea that I had. But if you have like the underwriting guide for a specific company or for a specific product, you can literally paste it in here and then ask ChatGPT about that. There's a lot of stuff that's probably going to be coming down the pipeline with a lot of these insurance companies, but for now, we can just use ChatGPT. So that's a really cool one as well. You can ask it questions directly about the policy. This next one is something that I'm actually using every single day in my business, and I think this will be super helpful for you guys. So this is actually an app called Otterai. And basically what it does is you attach it to your Zoom. And I think it works with a few other different like meeting softwares as well. And what it does is it transcribes your entire meeting, records the whole thing, right? And so what you can do is after the meeting, I can then go in the same way I just did with ChatGPT on that PDF, I can go and ask questions about what happened on the meeting. So if you're not recording all your sales calls, you definitely need to. It's just good hygiene as a salesperson, protects you, make sure that you're not liable for anything and make sure that things go well. But with this, I can then go and ask specific questions about the call. So I'll show you guys an example. I've started using this on every single call that I do now. Team meetings, we use this with sales calls, anything, right? And so here's an example I had with one of my clients. He's a face-to-face agent, and it summarizes the entire meeting chat, and I could ask specific questions. So like, what are the action items from this meeting? And it'll then tell me the specific action items. So the main actions are, all this different stuff that happened on the meeting. And this is all accurate, right? So I can use this on team meetings where I'm doing stuff with my agency, right? If I'm talking with a client, whatever it is that I want to make sure that I have recorded and I make sure that I have documented, I can use Otterai and record the whole meeting for me so I don't have to take any notes. And then instead of searching through notes, I can just ask it what happened and it'll tell me. So that is the fifth one that we're going to cover. We got 4 more. I'm super excited to show you guys these. This next one is going to be overcoming objections. Yes, you can use AI to overcome objections. So let me show you guys how to do this. So basically, I can use ChatGPT to come up with answers to common objections. Now, for the ones that you probably already know the answer to, you might not need this. But if there's something out of the box that you haven't really heard before, you can use ChatGPT to get some ideas. It's not going to be perfect every single time because, again, it's just not perfect yet. But you can use it to help you brainstorm and come up with different ideas to common objections. So I'm going to say, this is the prompt I'm going to use. Help me come up with an answer to these common sales objections when selling final expense life insurance. I don't want to disagree with the prospect. I want to ask them questions that lead them closer to the answer I want them to find. So I'm going to copy this. Let me paste in my objections. Let me think about it. I'm going to prepay my funeral at the funeral home, and then I already have life insurance. Boom. Let's see what it comes up with. All right, so this first one, let me think about it. Absolutely, it's important to make an informed decision while you're considering. May I ask what aspects you'd like to think over? Is it the cost, the coverage, or something else? Understanding your concerns can help me provide the most relevant information for your needs. It's a pretty good overcome for the objection right there. You could obviously get this smoother, but the overall gist is like exactly what we recommend. I'm going to prepay my funeral at the funeral home. That's a common approach, and it's great that you're planning ahead. Have you considered what might happen if the funeral home goes out of business or if you move to a different location? With a final expense life insurance policy, you have the flexibility of your beneficiaries using the payout as they see fit, which could be helpful in unforeseen circumstances. Can I share more about this flexibility with you? This is like, again, the overall gist of this is really solid. Like if you're a newer agent or you just get hit with something that you've never heard before, this would be a fantastic way to do this. And then you can obviously iron it out with your own, knowledge of sales. Next one, I already have insurance. That's great to hear that you've taken steps to protect your loved ones. Can I ask if your current insurance policy covers end-of-life expenses specifically? Sometimes people find that their existing policy is needed to cover living expenses for the dependents, pay off debts, or handle estate taxes, leaving little for final expenses. Would you like to explore? This one I'm not as much of a fan of, but again, I could prompt it more to get it exactly how I want it. But that is the sixth way to use ChatGPT and AI to help you in your insurance business. This next one is setting appointments. So this has become a major thing in the insurance industry, is actually using AI in a workflow to set appointments for you. So I'm going to show you guys our workflow with our CRM, kind of how it works. This is something I've never revealed on our YouTube channel before, but I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. So when we pull up our like generic snapshot account that we use, this is where we like build everything for the CRM. Let me show you guys the appointment setting flow. It's on the second page here. Wait, where'd it go? It's on new lead. Here we go. Auto booking flow. So this automation has built or has generated literally thousands of pre-booked appointments for insurance agents. We have like hundreds of people that are using the CRM, and collectively this has generated thousands of pre-booked appointments. So basically, ignore this part up at the top. This is just kind of the extension of another workflow. But basically what happens is this AI booking bot will say, got it. To confirm you'd like to book an appointment, please reply yes, and I'll pull up some time slots available. Let's see. Let me see if I can show you guys the other one. Here we go. Let me actually show you guys this one here because this is like directly from the intro. So first you ask if it's them. Hey, just to make sure I have the right number, is this contact first name, which would be, we'll just say Miss Jones. Just to make sure I have the right number, is this Miss Jones? We wait for them to respond. If they don't reply, then it sends them, just follows up and tries to get a reply. But let's just say they do reply. So it'll say, hey, Ms. Jones, this is Tim getting back to you with the information you just requested on Facebook in regards to the life insurance program. And then it's going to wait. And it'll say, all we need to do is run through a short survey to match you with the best coverage available in your area. Do you want to book an appointment? And then when she replies yes, this AI booking bot will send her all of the times that are available on my calendar. So I don't have to manually go and do this like over the phone or whatever, and book an appointment. And then once it books, it'll just end the workflow. So basically all of it, like whenever a new lead comes in, any new lead, this is all happening in autopilot with every single person. So I'm saving so much time from having to call all these people. They're just going to be lay down appointments because the AI is doing it for me, right? And so all of this happens in the background while the lead comes in. So if they come in and I'm doing something else, maybe I'm busy, maybe I'm on another call, I can go ahead and get an appointment lined up for later that day or the following day while I'm doing something else. So that is the next way, is setting appointments, which is one of the most powerful ways to use AI, but also one of the easiest. All you need to do is tap into a CRM that's already has that implemented. So The next one, this is one of my favorites actually. This is something that I came up with, and it's automating client retention, right? So this is using a software called Zapier, which some of you may have heard of. If you don't use a CRM, this is probably how you are getting your leads. But basically, the way it works is this is for automating client retention. So we want to, within the first like few months of the client having business with us, we want to overwhelm them so that they are then incentivized and like they're so pleased with having us as their agent, they want to keep their policy with us, right? So it's going to boost your retention. So the first thing we do is day one, right? Right after they sign up, we're going to send them a card thanking them for becoming your client. So the way you do this is inside of the CRM, right? Like this is the CRM, for example. You connect and you have a workflow, right? It's called a webhook. This is getting like a little bit in the weeds, but I'm going to explain like the overall gist of this. And then some of you guys will go out and create this, which will save you a ton of time. So whenever you sell someone, you add a tag to them in the CRM. That tag then triggers an automation that sends a webhook to Zapier. Let me show you guys what this would look like in Zapier. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Okay. So the webhook comes in. This is basically just like all you do is you copy some text from your CRM and then post it into Zapier and it connects this. If you guys want to get like really in the weeds on how to do this, let me know and maybe I'll post a video on exactly how to set this up. Basically, so your CRM communicates with Zapier, then Zapier gets this message and they send out a card from this company called Handwritten. So if you guys have not heard of this before, let me guys show you what this looks like. This is a company that will literally create handwritten cards for you, right? You don't have to actually write the card. They just write it for you and then sends them to your clients. So I can pick from all these different cards. These suck for insurance. I'm not going to send my client a card that says don't be a prick. Maybe that'd be funny if that's the relationship you have with your clients. But for most of you guys, that will not be what you're doing. So I would just do something like thank you, right? Something kind of simple but classy. And then you have all of your clients' info sent in here. So it basically will then send it to their address, right? And so the card would say something like, hey, Tim, congratulations on your new policy. Your decision to get life insurance shows your commitment to your family, and I admire that. Your policy is heading your way. Remember, if you have any questions or need help, don't hesitate to reach out to me at whatever your number is. I'm here to help. So then immediately after signing up, we're reinforcing their decision and rewarding them for giving us their business. The next thing that happens, and this is where things get really, really cool, is we actually are automating getting referrals. So once they become a client, you add that tag to them. It's going to send out this first message. The next thing that's going to happen is it's going to schedule a card 60 days later, so 2 months later. So they've had their policy with you for 2 months. Then out of the blue, you're going to send them this card that's going to include a $10 Amazon gift card. Nominal charge, but what you can get from it is massive. So basically, this is what the message says. Hey, Tim, I just wanted to send you a little something to brighten your day. Inside, you'll find a small token of my appreciation for your trust in me with your life insurance needs. It's people like you who make our country great. Your choice of life insurance protects your family from debt, and in doing so, you're contributing to a stronger America for the next generation. Hope you enjoy the gift. P.S. Do you know anyone else who could use my help? Send them my way, and I'll show you my thanks by sending you a gift for each person you refer. So I'm surprising them out of the blue with a gift, right? A gift card. So now all of a sudden they feel it's the law of reciprocity, right? So I'm giving them something and then asking for something in return that's very, very, very minimal, right? I'm just asking them, hey, do you know anyone else that may need life insurance? Which, if they know anyone, everyone needs life insurance. So yeah, everyone they know needs life insurance. So basically, I'm giving them something, asking them for something in return, and then telling them that if they give me that something in return, I'm going to give them something else. So it's a no-brainer offer, right? Now, the thing is, some people won't just automatically send you a referral. So you're going to set in an automation in your CRM to remind you to call your client up after 60 days to just follow up and check in on them. So you're going to follow up, check in on them, and then ask them like, hey, did you get my gift? Okay, awesome. Who was that person that you wanted to send my way? And then boom, you've just gotten a ton of referrals on autopilot. The next way you can use this is literally just sending people birthday cards. So super nice touch to do. And it's going to build a lot of loyalty with your clients. And while you're not directly asking for referrals when you send them the birthday card, I don't recommend doing that. You're going to get referrals just by extension of staying top of mind. All right. Now let me show you guys the last and final way to use ChatGPT, AI, and automation to grow your insurance business. And this one is just going to be using a CRM that will follow up with your leads automatically so that you can focus on outbound calls. So basically, I was kind of showing you guys some of these automations. After somebody becomes a lead, if they don't book an appointment, they're sent into a 52-week follow-up nurture sequence. Again, all this happens in the back end on autopilot within the CRM. And so after, if maybe they don't set an appointment or you're not able to get them on the phone, it's going to send them emails and texts for 52 weeks straight, an entire year, just prompting them to book an appointment with you. So anybody that doesn't come in on the beginning, you're staying top of mind for a year afterwards. So when they ultimately decide to make that purchasing decision, the first person they're going to call is you. So super easy to set up. All you got to do is write a couple emails. We already have them written for you if you guys are using our CRM, and get that to work. So that is going to wrap up this video. I know I kind of dumped a ton of information on you guys. There's a ton of different ways to use this. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys found this valuable and which one of these 8 ways you think is going to benefit you and your business the most. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your time. If you guys got value from it, feel free to leave a like, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. And I have a very special offer for you guys. One of the things that my business partner, Julian, and I have been working on in the last few weeks, the last few months, is developing a new type of lead. We call them branded final expense leads. So basically, instead of people just opting into like a generic Facebook page, one of the scammy pages like Senior Benefits Organization or whatever you want to call, some random page on Facebook. We're building a consumer-facing brand. We're trying to build America's next insurance brand, and you're going to be able to tap into that by working those leads. All of the ads we run are super transparent. They all mention that it's about life insurance. They all mention that it costs money. And they all mention that somebody has to speak with someone on the phone in order to get coverage. So it's about as transparent as you could possibly get, as well as it's all branded. So it's all built around a central brand we call Zoosurance. And let me show you guys. This is what the logo looks like. Got it on a hat right here. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in working those branded leads, basically just going to be higher quality prospect, click the link down below. We're only taking on a specific type of agent because we are building like a personal consumer-facing brand. We don't want agents who are going to ruin that. So like if you're the type of person who's just trying to get the biggest commission as possible instead of actually helping your client, you're probably not the best agent to work with us. But if you're one of those agents who treats clients like family, feel free to click the link down below and apply. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.